Okay, and we're back to another episode of Coaching, Caffeine, and Comedy, and I'm your host, Haley. Sorry, I thought you were going to... I don't know.
Lord.
I thought you were going to say my name.
Lena. Oh. No, I wasn't going to introduce you. I can next time.
Let's switch.
Okay.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
You look really cute today.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And let's thank the air conditioning gods above.
Oh my goodness, it is so nice in here right now.
It is. It's a nice, chilly 69.
And Holtus and Smalley will appreciate that.
Yes, they will.
Yep.
If they listen to this episode.
That's true.
Yeah. Needless to say, actually, ever since they've come on, I haven't spoke to them at all because...
Why would you?
Why?
We got all the information we needed.
We did.
Yeah.
They don't even need to come back.
Nope.
And
I don't
deleted
need a
them out of my
text.
phone book.
Yep. I don't need a text message or nope.
Nothing.
What'd you do this weekend?
We went on a family vacay. Went to the zoo, Omaha Zoo, first time. Made it out alive.
That's amazing.
Went in with 4, left with 4.
Good deal.
You know the people watching at the zoo?
It's like the fair.
Yeah. So like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Clay and the kids went to go pet the stingrays for $5. And I was like, I'm good. I'll sit out here and watch the wagon. That 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good God.
We could write a book.
Oh, we could write a book or start selling counseling sessions. Or Lena says. Lots of scenarios there.
My kids have never been to the Omaha Zoo. Not
what?
I know. I know.
One's like about to graduate high school.
No. And they've never been to the fair. So
Sorry,
many
the
reasons
state
why.
fair?
Any fair.
Wait.
No, we did go to the state fair one time when Jake was climbing for like this race thing. But the county fair, no. Haven't gone.
Okay.
All the reasons you people watch, all that's why.
Well, I'm going to pick up my auntie duties and I'm going to take them with me next time. So,
You can do that.
Today in studio with us, we have,
Celebrity?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like if there was a Mr. McCook, maybe there is. I don't know.
You know what? If there isn't, there should be.
He could definitely
We're
be in the
announcing it
runnings.
today. Mr. McCook, 2022.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And he's about to be on here.
Yep.
So sit back. He seems like a great guy. I don't even think we'll need to censor this one.
No. Regardless who he hangs out with, I think he is a good guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen some of his friends.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I know. Questionable,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
But
He made it out.
He did. He literally, he's a pro. All right. Sit back, turn it up, let's do this. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and welcome Mr. McCook,
2022.
Brandon Crick.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. I like that you gave him the squeaky chair, Lena.
I know. That
I
was
know.
not.
I'm
on
gonna
purpose.
be up and down all over this
Yeah.
place here.
Yeah, well, let's make sure you're up and down close to that mic.
I'm as close as I can get.
There we go. That's beautiful. So, Brandon, since you've never listened, we always like to start off with a fun little warm-up. Since we don't really know you, or I don't know. I mean, I know you, but I don't know you. We're going to go nice. So, we're going to ask you some random questions. You're just going to answer them. It's really simple.
All right,
Okay? You ready? And then we're going to get into
Let's
the
do it.
nitty-gritty of, like, who you really are.
let's do it.
Okay. What fictional family would you most like to join?
Fictional family. I don't know, I'm trying to think of cartoons and stuff.
It's a tough one. I'm trying to think who I would.
I feel like I live in one.
I mean, I watch a lot of The Office, but I don't know if, literally every week when I'm on the road, I'm watching 5 hours of The Office.
I like
a
it
We're
night.
already
much
hitting it
more.
off. We're
So
hitting it
it's
off. You and Lena.
it's probably something just in that, I guess, workplace family would be fun.
Okay.
That sounds amazing. What movie do you wish you could watch again for the first time?
You know, me and my wife, we watch a lot of Jurassic Park. That's always a fun. That's always a fun one. I mean, that's the one I could think of right now, especially with the new one coming out that
Did you watch
we
it?
haven't seen yet.
It's so good. It's so good. I love Jurassic Park.
I guess I'm just gonna go with that right
I
now.
like it.
Hit on current events.
Taking away the thunder here. So Trip, my son, loves dinosaurs, and he would like the cartoon Jurassic Park. You'll get there. And so then I was like, hey, buddy, let's watch like the real one, like with the real dinosaurs and people.
Hello, Nightmares.
Oh, gosh. We made it like 30 minutes. He's like, I don't like this one, Mom. I was like, yeah.
But I literally just watched the first Top Gun like a month ago.
What?
Oh.
The
Wait,
first,
the first-
Literally for the first
one,
time?
Tom Cruise, the first one.
Well, you were probably
Because
you
I
were
was like,
probably a
oh.
baby when it was
No.
came out.
He's got to be my age. What year?
No, I'm 34.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sheesh.
I've been around, so I should have watched it, but I never
Yeah.
did get around to it. And I finally watched it, and I was ready to go to Top Gun 2, and I haven't gone
Yes.
yet. So
It's very good.
Gotta figure that out.
I was going to say Top Gun 2. I'd like to watch that one for the first
Yes,
time.
you would. It's very good. It's good.
So good.
I heard
So
it's good.
It is. Okay. What is your go-to karaoke anthem?
I don't do karaoke. It's probably the furthest away from something that I would do. So
Okay.
I would be there.
I'm not. I don't even
Yeah,
think I
no?
could go there.
No?
What is your favorite type of sandwich?
I'm just a ham and cheese guy. I'll go to Firehouse Subs a lot when I'm in the cities, and it's turkey bacon ranch. Very, very simple. Nothing, no veggies. We don't want that. Just ham and cheese. That's all I need.
I like it. What kind of bread?
White.
Okay. Okay. Any
I'm as
mayonnaise
boring
or
as you.
anything, or just go dry.
I'm mayo, honey mustard.
Okay,
You
okay.
got to drench
That's
it with that
concerned.
stuff.
Drench.
Can't be.
Okay. What emoji best describes how you're feeling right now?
No, I mean, I'm happy and excited to be here.
Oh, okay. I'm picturing the one.
The
that's
excited,
yeah,
the excited,
yeah.
the excited
Yes.
emoji, of course.
What is a weird fact about yourself that many people don't know?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say many people don't know, but one of my sponsors is Larry the Cable Guy. So that's kind of a
putting
fun
this
fact
together
of
now.
people
Putting
that
this together.
don't follow golf or whatever, follow my golf. I'm sponsored by Larry the Cable Guy.
Okay.
Oh my
So
gosh.
how did
How?
that happen?
Yeah, how did this happen?
Like, sorry. Since you're friends
this
with him,
is
can he
a-
come visit?
I mean, I'm trying to get him here eventually. So,
Make it happen,
yeah,
and then be
at
like,
least,
you gotta
at least
meet
to
these
where
These
he
two
can play
women.
our golf course and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
see where I grew up on and all that stuff. But basically, I've been doing golf for a long time, and it's very expensive to do. In order to do it, you have to have sponsors. Costs a lot of money. I've had a lot of help from people around town here starting out, and then basically when I was done with college, I didn't actually graduate and get my degree. So, because I went and played professional golf for about, I think it was 4, maybe 5 years. And then I went back and got my degree. When I went back and got my degree, I was at a Firethorn golf course in Lincoln where he was a member at, because he lives just outside of Lincoln. I got to know him, and basically I was ready to quit golf. And I think it was 2016. I was ready to be done. I was interviewing for a job, and I was on my way to the interview, and I got a call from him, and he's like, my wife and me would love to sponsor you if you want to go.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
That's
yeah,
That's so cool.
That's kind of,
That just gave me the chills.
I know.
That is really awesome.
yeah, it's a wild story. And then ever since then, that year, got through Q school, got on the Korn Ferry Tour, and I've really been there ever since. There's different levels of status you can have out there. You can have a conditional status where you're only maybe getting in a few events, and then you have full status where you can get in any event you want. So it's kind of difficult to explain, but it's I've been on the Korn Ferry Tour the last 6 years, and it's been great. So just kind of one more step trying to get to the PGA Tour.
Wow. Is that common that like celebrities sponsor athletes?
No, not super common. No, I think it was just kind of he's sponsored rodeo guys. He's sponsored I don't know, just a bunch of different things. And I got to play some golf with him and give him a few tips, and got to know his family a little bit, and
Wow.
yeah, it's been great. So they're great people.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, a few more questions. That was fun. I
It
feel
was.
like we're done.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
Are we done?
No. Remember happy emoji. What trap in Home Alone was the best one? If you haven't watched this movie.
Oh, I mean, me and my wife watch it every Christmas. What was the one? It was when he went down the stairs
The ice.
around
the frozen ice.
the frozen ice, and then what?
Was it the hot?
Well, actually, you know what? You know what it is? It's the one where they they cover them and then they shoot
The tar and feather.
Yeah, the tar and feather. That's probably the one that sticks the most.
That was mine too.
What was your best class in high school?
I mean, PE.
Oh
That was my
Okay.
favorite one. All we did is
my
we went to the Y and played ping pong all day. It was great.
Who was your PE teacher?
Mulring.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to the Y and played ping pong all day.
That's
How was
great.
that? That's
is
the
great.
best class ever.
Okay, last one. Which of your teachers is the most memorable and why?
I'm gonna stick to the subject, and I would say it's Coach Coleman. He was a PE teacher and a coach, and it kind of hits home for this podcast. But he's probably had one of the biggest impacts on my career, my life, my sports. So I would say it's pretty much him. So
Cool. Okay, so we didn't really get into Brandon, but Brandon is like a professional golfer. You can just, if we slay any terms, just let us know. I don't golf. From McCook, Nebraska, originally, correct?
yeah.
And then what got you into golf? Like, what was it? How did you get to the point where you are now?
So basically, my dad played, and I was somewhere between 5 and 7 years old, and he would take me up to Oberlin, Kansas, and we'd play that little 9-hole course there. And I just I just enjoyed going out with them, and then I got better and better, and it's weird, the transition from I never even knew I was going to play in college until I was probably a sophomore or junior in high school. Then I was like, oh, I could probably do this in college, And then I ended up playing in college and never really thought about playing professional golf. And then I was just like, we'll give it a try, kind of a deal. And I mean, I am shocked that I've been doing this for almost 11, 12 years. It's really amazing, because it's just, there's so many people that come out of college and, they can only last a year or two. It's just very difficult. It's difficult to get the funding. And then it's difficult because the competition's just so darn good now. I mean, ever since the Tiger Woods era, it's only gotten better and better and deeper. There's a lot of guys on mini tours that could go out and win a Korn Ferry event. There's a lot of guys on the Korn Ferry that can go out and win PGA Tour events, and you see it every year. So, I mean, it's just, the depth of golf is probably as deep as it's ever been right now.
What percentage of college golfers go into trying to golf professionally? Do you know?
I think when I was in, I would say, I mean, you might have one or two a team. Now I feel like there's more that do try, but a lot of times you can get a reality check, I mean, very, very early in professional golf. Because, I mean, for example, if you're going to play a mini tour event, it's basically $2,000 before you even make a check. What? You're talking $1,000 entry fee, and then you have to do your hotel, you have to do your rental car, your flights, all that stuff. I mean, it's so expensive to start out, and it's even more expensive now than it was when I was doing that stuff.
So the entry fee, does that go into a pot? So if you do win, you win money?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's the way I see it, it's organized gambling. So you give your money to these people, they, host a tournament, maybe get a few sponsors to sweeten the pot at the end. But it's just, it's hard to make money that way. So you just kind of the mini tour part of it is just trying to survive. And then what you do is you go to Q school, which is qualifying school for, the Korn Ferry Tour. And you try to get through there. And I mean, ideally you want to get on the Korn Ferry Tour. And then if you can play well enough on the Korn Ferry Tour, then you go to the PGA Tour.
So it goes PGA Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, below it.
Yeah.
Q school.
So it's Korn Ferry Tour is essentially the farm league of, what baseball is,
Okay.
So it's like a filter, a developmental tour is what they call it. And then a mini tour is basically any professional event that you can play in. Basically, you just give them money and you can play in. You could go play in a professional event if you wanted. It really doesn't.
Interesting.
It doesn't matter. You can go do it, but
it's want our money.
It's essentially
Donators.
it's essentially organized gambling, So
Go.
So you don't necessarily when you're at this Korn Ferry, right?
Mhm.
You don't get picked up. You have to score something to be able to go on, or how does that work? Like, how do you?
So the Korn Ferry Tour, basically, it's about, I would say, almost 30 events throughout the year that they schedule for you all over the United States.
$1,000 a pop.
No,
Okay.
but
Just doing the math here.
but the expenses are still pretty high because of all the travel and stuff like that. And then you have to have a caddy, and you have to pay that caddy every week. So your expenses are still, I mean, you're looking at.
And do you have to do all 30, or can you say, I want to do certain ones?
You can, yeah, you
Okay.
can. You can absolutely do that, and that's what I'm doing. Because in 2 weeks there's a Utah one, and I'm not playing in it, so I'm just taking the week off.
Okay.
Because it's a long season, and you want to be fresh, especially for the end. And basically, at the end, the top 25 from the regular season, the points getters, the top 25 get PGA Tour cards. Okay. And then
I'm with you.
and then what happens is the last regular season event, which is Omaha this year, then they go into a 3-part finals series.
When is that? Sorry.
Omaha's in 3 weeks.
Like coming 3 weeks.
Yes.
The end is almost near.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's the regular season, though. After the regular season, the top 75 points, and then you combine with the PGA Tour guys that aren't playing as well, but maintained enough points, they all go to these finals, and then the top 25 points getters just from those 3 events get PGA Tour cards.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
That's intense.
It is.
that's the best I can explain it.
Okay, I mean, I got it. Going back a notch, where did you go to college?
I went 2 years at Gonzaga in Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
And then my last 2 years I finished up in Nebraska.
Beautiful.
So
Finished with the good state.
I know. It was good to be back.
What took you there? What took you away?
So when I was playing high school golf, I had a buddy that he was from Gering, and he ended up going to Gonzaga. He was a year older than me.
Okay.
So he kind of knew the coach through them, and then the coach came out and watched me a few events and ended up signing with them and going up there. I loved the coach and team. It was just, I was ready to be back in the Midwest. It was so much better. So I got to finish up, my last 2 years in Nebraska, and then, moved on to doing some golf.
So
full
did
time.
you went to school at Nebraska, UNL?
Yeah.
Did you golf there?
Yeah, my last
Okay,
2, yeah.
cool. Where do you have a house, or do you just live on wheels?
I
Sorry,
mean,
just
I was thinking the
that's
same thing.
actually a great question
I'm
because
just feeling for your
I'm
wife.
gone probably 30 weeks a year. So
Yeah.
basically,
so an RV? Do you have like a
but
Winnebago?
we do have a house here.
Okay.
But
Oh, in McCook.
yeah, here in
Look at
McCook.
you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
like half a block away.
Oh, good taxpayers.
Yep. So we do have a house here, but I travel a lot, and it's nice because the wife can come out and watch me a few events,
That's awesome.
and I try to be back here as much as I can when I'm not playing.
Let's talk about your wife. Where'd you meet her? She from McCook?
I met her through probably one of the most hated people on this podcast, Josh Cherry.
No, Josh
But,
Cherry.
Ew.
yeah.
Josh.
But
get credit
so
He is.
it wasn't a great omen, but
Oh, gosh. Do you still talk to Josh? I'm just...
no,
No.
every now and then, but
Oh.
so his wife, works as a nurse at the hospital and introduced us, and got to know each other.
Awesome.
Hung out a few times, and I was living in Lincoln at the time, and we just continue to stay in touch, and that's that.
Oh, that's great.
And then 3 years or a couple years later, we were engaged, and then a couple years later, we were married. So, yeah.
Bless her heart.
And she obviously is okay with this whole you being gone.
Yeah,
in a
she
way.
had an idea of what she's getting into.
Mm-hmm.
What she was getting into when we were dating, like, how much I was gone and stuff like that. So, it's tough, but, with her job as a nurse, like, she's got a little flexibility there where she can kind of, she went to Wichita, and then she went to Maine with me this year. She's been to Savannah and South Carolina with me and stuff like that. So she gets to go around and see some of the places that I get to see.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
Was this dream something your parents were supportive of?
Very,
Good.
very. I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. That's for
That's so
sure.
awesome.
So, no, they were great. They started me out and helped me a little bit, along with, as I said, some people around town. helped me get started. But at the end of the day, it was one of those things that it was so expensive. Even the people around town was great to have the help, but I still had to make the sacrifice. I was working at a golf course. I was caddying. I was in Arizona. I was getting a caddy job where you'd go out with people that would and just find their balls, basically read the greens, rake the bunkers, all that stuff. So I did that for a few years, and then basically I'd do that all winter. I'd go down to Arizona, do that all winter, and try to save as much money as I can so I could play during the summer, and then try to go through that qualifying school at the end of the year, and that's what it was for about 4 or 5 years. And then that's when I was like, well, I think I'm just gonna go get my degree, go back, get it, try to find a job, and then the other sponsor came along. So
what's the mental game like with golf? Like, is that a struggle for you, or is that like
mentally I'm probably one of the better ones mentally on the golf course. But I mean, golf's just such a unique game because it's not as much team. You don't have, I mean, like,
it's all
you get to the PGA Tour, and they do have like big teams of like 7 to 10 people that are helping you out and pushing you and stuff like that. But to get there, it's all work ethic. It's all you. It's all how hard you want to work. I mean, I could have these 2 weeks off and just sit on my couch the whole time if I wanted.
So what do you
But
do?
is that gonna get me
Right?
better?
Yeah.
It's like I gotta go out and whether I like it or not, go play 18 to 36 a day is kind of what I usually do, and I'll play early in the morning, play for a couple hours, and then maybe do something putting and chipping or something later in the day. But you got to stay busy because at the end of the day, it's your job, and you got to treat it like one, and you can't just take 2 weeks off in the middle of the season and just not touch a club. I mean, some people can, but it's still pretty tough. So you got to be hard on yourself, and you got to push yourself mostly by yourself.
Is there a point in it where you have like a trainer or a coach, or is that something you already have?
Well, I haven't hit the weight room in probably like 3 years.
Oh.
So
Already?
I walk about 8 miles a day, and
I think she meant like a golf
so-
coach.
Yeah, that
but,
too.
But-
or
whatever
lifting. I
kind
mean,
of
You
coach
said trainer, so I
didn't
immediately
know,
went to
like,
I immediately went
I was
to
like,
golf
He
coach.
felt guilty. He's like, haven't been in the gym.
yeah.
Nope.
For at least
But
3 years.
no, so as far as golf coaches, I'll go see somebody in Omaha for kind of putting and chipping, and another guy different for the full swing. So I mean, but I'm pretty homegrown in the sense that I've had one lesson probably in the last 2 years. Like, I'm not the guy that needs it every month. Some people like it every month, every couple weeks, but I kind of just try to figure it out myself. And if it really goes south, then I'll go see somebody. So
what are you telling yourself, like, when you're like about ready to tee off? Like, what's going on in between your ears?
I mean, my
nothing.
thing is to think as little as possible. So I try to not think about anything. Like, my only thing I'm thinking about is my target, and like, what am I going to do to the ball to get it there?
Nice.
That's beautiful.
That is. That's stunning,
poetry. That's poetry right
That
there.
is. Yeah. Because when I'm golfing, that is not the words in my brain.
Slew of cuss words.
Oh, I'm like,
and then
I'm gonna
wing and
beat
a
the little
prayer.
bit. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, there's so many people that you see that are so, at least, on the professional level, are so technical about everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I need to get to this position, this position, this position.
I don't know who's.
And I'm just like, I just want to like think, all right, I'll work on stuff on the range. When I get to the round, I don't want to be thinking at all. I want to be thinking about where I'm hitting it. Am I fading it in there? Am I drawing it in there? That's all I want. That's all I want to do.
I don't remember who it was I was talking to, but they made a really good point about golf, because we were talking about golf, and they said that they like have their younger child doing golf, and I was like, do I need to pick it up and make my kids start golfing? But they said golf is a lifetime sport. No matter what, no matter at the end of the year, into high school, into college, golf is something they can continue to do the rest of their life, and it's also a very mentally rewarding sport. And some other words I don't know.
Yeah,
Very poetic.
Yeah, I would agree completely. Like, if I had to encourage people, golf's an expensive sport, no doubt, but like, even doing something like, taking them to the kids clinics that they have out here, I just think just seeing if they like it, giving them a chance to see if they like it, if they can. I think it's really important because you don't know how many friends I've had that didn't play at all in high school. And all of a sudden, now it's like they're starting to play like, hey, one of them you might have been interviewing a few weeks ago. So, it's just they didn't play much in high school, but now it's like, hey, I want to go out and play. I love this game. Like, how can I get better? What kind of clubs can I get? How can I get the ball to go lower, ball to go higher, stuff like that. So, but like it's so much harder to fix somebody like that's in their whatever 20s or after
Yeah, me and you. We're not
like
fixable.
it's easier to fix them when they're young and get them the right fundamentals early.
I still have
but
a
it's
chance.
harder to go back to those fundamentals after you get older and like you have your body fully grown to what it is and stuff like that. And your swing speed's a lot higher, so it's a lot more difficult to fix them at that level versus when they're younger. If you can get started at the fundamentals and all that aspect of it, I mean, it's just like anything. It's like the basketball shot. Like it's like you get good form early, it's gonna stay with you.
Exactly.
So.
And I think even just getting the kids to the course and breaking down that level of like intimidation, because I think golf can be extremely intimidating because it is a self sport. Again, you don't have that team to rely on. It's all about you. Does your wife golf?
She doesn't. Well, actually, I mean, we just went out a couple weeks ago. Played Curtis. Curtis was fun.
Oh,
yeah,
Curtis.
that's a fun little golf course.
Straight, no hills.
We went and played Curtis. It was a good time. So she does actually really well. I think she enjoys riding in the cart and watching me more.
That's very fun.
Yep.
But
If someone would just
fun.
invite me along to do that.
That's
Just-
I mean, I was trying to recruit a team for that tournament,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, you golf?" I'm like, "No, I'll coach.
Yeah.
I'll drive."
Yep.
I mean, I know I'll have my own cart, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So, speaking back to your younger years, and you said, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but did you do any other sports? Because you're like really freaking athletic.
Yeah.
I did tennis.
Okay.
And I did basketball.
Okay. No football.
And then I played sand volleyball
Yes.
in my later years.
Oh my gosh. That's
You
how
played with him?
Yes. He probably doesn't remember.
Oh my god.
I'm just a
I do remember.
Oh
I'm
my
still
gosh.
waiting for the invite to join
back?
one of your practices.
Oh my gosh, he's so
and
good.
Have the girls beat up on me.
He's so good. It was the sand tournament there at the marina. And Cherry, I was on Cherry's team. He's like,
jeez.
I think Crick's in town from the PGA Tour. I'm like, oh my God, we're playing with a celebrity. And there's only 4 of us and we won. So
I just went on Sunday with
he was amazing. Like
That's
it was
phenomenal.
Like he jumped so high. Like you know how high the men's nets are on
Yes,
sand anyways. And I was
correct,
like, oh my God. Okay, he just jumped over my head.
So tennis doesn't mess with like a golf. Like, do you have to be careful with things like?
Well, I haven't really
messing-
played tennis since high
Okay,
school,
okay.
but I mean, the way I see it, it's like anything that improves your hand-eye coordination, I feel like is good for golf, right?
For sure.
I mean, there are little things that are different. Like I feel like the hardest is the baseball swing to the golf swing. That's the hardest transition
So you
because
remember.
baseball you're kind of hitting more off your back foot.
Okay.
And then golf, you're hitting, you're actually moving forward through the ball and getting off the back foot completely, if that makes sense.
Was that? Did he
So,
speak in a
I
foreign
don't know.
language? Because I didn't understand anything.
What do you
I just
charge
spoke
for
in tongues.
lessons for 2 old gals?
That's when Jake signed me up for lessons one time, and that's what the instructor said. He said he was dreading me showing up because he thought if you've never played a sport, he goes, I just didn't know what I was working with.
Yeah.
But if you've played that whole hand-eye coordination, he said it was like a lifesaver when it comes to learning
yeah.
things. It hasn't saved me at all with the game of golf.
The hand-eye thing, though, I think that's like a lost art because, like, during volleyball camps, like, we'll just have the girls and little tots, like, throwing a ball and catching it. Mm-hmm. They can't catch.
Yep.
They can't throw. They can't toss. It is, and so it's like we're spending 30 minutes on catch and toss.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
the world.
That's true.
Oh, my dad used to, when we were kids, we were playing YMCA ball, and he would like do a chest pass super hard, but he'd do it right at your face, so you got your hands up there,
Of course you did.
and you were ready to catch it.
Yeah.
Like in those balls at the Y, they're literally cement.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With no grip. It's like,
I always give him a hard time about that, and I think he did to his grandkid too. But it was just like, well, I
Yeah.
tell you what, we didn't miss many. We
I
didn't miss
bet
catching any basketballs. I'll tell you that much.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Did your dad grow up playing? Like when he was young, or was it something?
Golf?
Yeah.
I don't know if he did. I don't think he picked it up young. It was more like kind of once he got to here in McCook and had his job, and then I think
Okay.
he just went out and tried to play a little bit. So I think he picked it up more about when I picked it up. So
Is there a way to make the game more financially feasible for more athletes, or is that just something that's forever going to be a part of the way the game is?
I mean, it's going through its ups and downs right now. I feel like, with the golf business, I think it actually flourished in COVID times because everybody was either laid off from their job or got, money from, stimulus checks and stuff like that. So people were anxious to get outside, go play.
Sure. Right.
They didn't have anything to do. So I think you see kind of a peak as far as golf's concerned. I think it'll go down a little bit, be a little more cost efficient, but yeah, I mean, you can still, there's golf courses. They'll run deals at Heritage Hills every now and then. Cross Creek and Cambridge, has pretty decent deals, but it's just like, do you go out and have a nice dinner and a beer, or do you want to just go, golf for the day?
Right.
It's kind of like, it's decisions of whatever you want to do. That's fine. Whatever you choose, but it's just, if you want to go play golf, it's going to cost you, $40 to $50, but
What is the best memory that you have from golf?
Best memory?
Yeah, like the
I don't
biggest
know.
thing that's like this is why I'm doing this, because of this. Like this feeling.
Well, I finished second in one Korn Ferry Tour event years ago. This was 3-4 years ago. And that was when I was like, okay, I like this. But I also was so nervous that round because I was in the final group. I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Because of how
because
it made
I was
you feel?
just like
Yeah.
a nervous wreck.
Ooh,
I was just like, oh, is it going to be this hard every time I'm in this position? But now that I kind of have the nerves under control, it's a lot more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But it is more and more of a grind the older I'm getting. It's just harder to go. I used to be able to go 6-7 weeks in a row and not bat an eye, and now it's like 2-3 weeks. I'm like spent.
Yeah. Stretching.
Yeah.
Rolling out.
Yeah.
Now, when you said you had to get your PGA card, do you have to do that every year?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have to go?
It's
camp?
just based on so this year, like if I'm in the top 75, I basically have full status for the Korn Ferry next year. So right now I'm going to have full status next year, but my goal this year is to try to get in the top 25. So basically I need to win Omaha or kind of do a top 5 in one of the last 3 events.
Well, Lena and I would love to be there, but I don't think golf is probably our good cheering event.
No.
Golf's a great cheering event.
You don't do anything. It's like,
I tell you, you guys need to get up there. It's fun.
yeah?
It's fun.
Well, you get us tickets.
I'll get you tickets.
With Larry.
I'll
I'll
get you
be there
tickets.
anyways.
No,
Wait, like,
we-
so...
We
I
could do
didn't
this.
think... I could definitely
We'll
cheer.
have our podcast T-shirts by then.
Oh,
take it
boy.
on the
And the
road.
sound maker?
Yeah.
Can they do that?
Yeah. What are the off limits?
Well,
Now,
you got to be. So the thing is with golf, this is how it always is you're quiet when they hit. You cheer when they hit a good shot, right?
Okay.
God, I
Quiet
wouldn't know
in
when
the
to
back.
cheer.
But
Right.
like this is kind of the layout. Like Omaha, it's a big golf course. It's kind of a hard one to walk, but there's a bunch of places you can sit down, bleachers, seats,
Why
like
is he
that you
saying
can
that
just.
and looking at us?
I know.
Like,
He's
That
like,
you
it's
can-
really
no, no, no.
tough
hard to walk,
it.
but there
Yeah.
are bleachers and
Yeah.
seats, ladies.
Yeah.
If you need to take
Old women, if you need to take your cane, you could park it alongside the bleacher.
Yeah, I was a little insulted, but
It's
I
okay.
guess
It's
he does know Cherry. So
Yeah,
we
that's
should
a good
know.
point.
Well,
Let's
that's
not hold it
how
against
Cherry
him.
does it. So
He
he's
sits on the-
coming up. He'll come watch. So, but no, that's the thing is you can sit in one spot and watch multiple players and golfers come through and watch them hit tee shots or watch them hit shots into greens, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody that's came out that I know from McCook is just loved coming out.
So then, do we have to move when you move? Like,
If you want to watch me,
Right.
then yeah.
Oh, see, how
See,
I
okay.
put that?
I
But
feel like
but
this
if you
sounds
don't-
like
but
way
if-
safer than co-ed softball.
Yes.
Yes, because I feel like if
yes.
we're following the crowd, we won't
Yes.
get hit.
Right, we can do that. So then,
I
you-
about drilled somebody last week.
What?
was it Cherry?
No, this is in Missouri. It was like kind of an island green, but there was bleachers behind, and I just flew it right into the bleachers.
So
but
then
it didn't
are
hit
you like,
anybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you say that's why you shouldn't be sitting in the bleachers?
I said,
Get up and follow.
gosh darn it, you know.
That's good. Yeah.
No, but
How much longer do you want to be doing this? Or is it until the limbs can't do
you
it?
know, I don't know if I can answer that question, but I mean, I feel like I'm really close right now, and I feel like I got a good opportunity, and the PGA Tour is kind of where you make your money, you know, and if I can get there, then, you know, you try to ride it out. But I mean, I also, in the same sense, I've done a lot of years of this, and it's been a grind, and it's a lot of travel. 30 weeks a year being gone, only being back, you know, 15 to 20 weeks. It's a long time away from home. So whatever happens, and I'm okay with it. So
when he becomes famous,
we
become famous.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Deal.
Yep.
I'm on
Remember the old ladies in the booth.
We'll sponsor you with maybe like one fee.
We'll get you a t-shirt.
We'll get you a t-shirt.
T-shirt.
And a
Great
keychain.
deal.
Yeah. Or maybe one of those things you clip on your hat.
Oh yeah.
What are those called? I don't know.
I don't know.
They put them, you know what I'm talking
Those
about?
things.
Ball markers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can
ball
get
marker.
We can get some of those.
There we go. Coaches, caffeine, and coffee.
Yeah.
Is that the right?
It's not. We're close.
not super, but-
Coaching, caffeine, and comedy.
What did he say?
Yeah, I think he
Coach,
said cup
I
of Joe
said-
or something.
Coaching, caffeine, and coffee. That's what
I
you
think
did.
that's what he
Oh,
said.
caffeine and coffee. How's that work?
No,
Oh,
coach,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, coaching, caffeine, comedy.
Comedy. Yeah.
So let's say you're drawn up, not doing it anymore. Then what's next? Like, what's your secret talent that you're going to come back to McCook and do?
I have no clue.
Are you going to be like the golf pro? Isn't that what people do?
Well, they have a golf pro now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Like you only have one?
They have a golf pro. Yeah,
But
they
like,
have one.
wait, so like golf, they
So,
only have one. Like, or can there be two?
I don't know.
How long do they stay around? Isn't
I
it
don't
like
know.
a voted board thing? I don't.
I'm gonna figure.
gonna-
I'm just gonna figure that out when it comes, and
Or you can
hopefully
mow with
it all.
Holtis.
I might. I always think it'd be fun if I was a greensmower, but they do a lot of manual labor that I'm like,
I don't think
my
I
back
don't
is
think
gonna
those
hurt.
guys do any manual labor. Do you know who? Do you know that guy, Jeff Holtis? No?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, probably. That's good. I don't know, but he mows the yard there or something, and he sends
All
these
I know is
Jim's
every
lines.
every hole location's on the side of a slope lately for some reason. So I don't
That
know.
guy.
Oh my God, I'll say something.
He's been setting pins, I heard. So
We'll say something. We'll say something.
You're very complimentive to the people who have supported you.
Uh-huh.
How will you pay that forward? Like, what's a way that you will kind of give back?
Question.
yeah, I mean, you know, with cable guy and stuff, I wear their hat, and you know, I've always like, you know, I'm to the point where, you know, if I can get to that next level and make some good money, I mean, my goal's to, you know, give back to the golf course, to do something for that can be helpful, you know, for the golf course, because it's like, you know, I wouldn't be here without Heritage Hills. Like, it's a great, you know, golf course, and it's great to play on and all that stuff. So, but you know, it's expensive to travel and do all that stuff. But, you know, I hope that someday I'll be able to give that back to the golf course and help them out too. So
Sure. Now, will McCook be home? Is that kind of what you're?
yeah, that's the plan. We're
I
fully,
like that.
Yeah.
Like
You
that.
mentioned.
fully all in on McCook. So it's good.
Go McCook.
Go McCook.
hmm You mentioned Coach Coleman.
Mhm.
What was it specifically like about him? Because obviously you played other sports, so you had other
Mhm.
coaches. But what was it that was? So
I mean, like with Coach Coleman, he was so good with the fundamentals. He knew how to relate to kids. He knew how to be hard on kids too, which I think's an element that, you know, obviously you got to be more careful about nowadays. But it's just like I've always thought that the discipline aspect of sports is what's sometimes needed. I mean, not always, but not overkill, but it's needed. It's absolutely needed. So, and it's not preparing you for life, you know, if you can't take that in sports, you
Are
know.
you sure you haven't
You're
listened
gonna
to our podcast?
I know.
I know.
What's the toughest?
you're
thing
gonna
he ever
have
said
you're
to
gonna
you?
have bad
Yeah.
coaches,
Oh, yeah.
right? You're gonna have
Yeah.
bad coaches, and you got to figure out a way to get through that. And you're gonna have really good coaches, and you're gonna learn a lot from them. So
What's the toughest thing Coach Coleman ever said to you?
Oh, he yelled at me really bad because I signed a wrong scorecard one time.
What is that?
So, like, if you sign a wrong scorecard, you're, like, DQ'd from the tournament.
So you cheated?
So, like, no, it wasn't, like, it wasn't that. It was, like, I put the number. So you put numbers in each box when you're signing a score. I put the wrong I put, like, I think what I did is I put my my 9-hole score on, like, the 18th hole, like, box. So it basically said that I got a 44 on hole, or 40 or whatever it was on hole 18 versus the actual side.
I have no idea what he's saying.
I'm disagreeing.
Yeah.
So basically I signed the wrong scorecard, and he, like, just ripped into me because, I mean, I wasn't paying attention. Like, you pay attention. The scorecard's very important because you get DQ'd if you sign a wrong scorecard. So this was middle of the season, a good point where, hey, he can be hard on me. And I'll never do it again. And that's what happened. I've never done it again. So
See,
I always check my scorecard like 5 times before I sign it now.
I usually stop keeping score after the 3rd hole, and so I don't even know.
Every time I play, I do like that scramble thing. Like you just take like the best ball, I think.
If there is one.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But no, you just have to like get a ringer in there. You get like
somebody good.
Somebody good.
Yeah,
some college punk or plays golf, or Brandon. It's like the beach volleyball. Our ringer's coming in. He's taking a break off tour to help us rack in a double.
That was fun. I need to play more volleyball, but my neck and back just kill me after that now.
Same.
So
I don't even golf.
Is golf enjoyable, or is it work? Or is it a balance?
It depends which day it is.
Okay.
But I think I get more enjoyment out of it than work. But there's definitely times where it's not all so glamorous that people think it is. I mean, I've already told you that being on the road 30 weeks a year, it gets long and grueling. You know, you just want to be home. But you do have a choice to like not do the tournaments, but you also, if you're not doing the tournaments, A, you're not getting paid, and B, people from behind are coming up and lapping you. So it's just like you kind of are forced, to do things.
And you have to walk the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You don't get a cart.
No.
You get a caddy and some wheels.
Never a cart?
Never a cart.
Never. They have to walk the whole thing.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that. And I thought that has to be.
I'm just thinking
true.
if, like, as I was cruising in the cart helping at this golf tournament, I was like, who would walk this?
And I guess like how many if
I used to walk it all the time.
Forget
when I was in high school, I used to walk that with the bag on my back.
Oh,
what?
That's why your back is hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And how many holes, like in an average, do you play in? Like if you're doing, I don't know, is it a tournament? Like what do I say? Like if you're playing a tournament, how many days do you play?
Well, they're all Thursday through Sunday. So basically, Thursday, Friday, and then there's a cut. So the cuts.
Wait, so Thursday, Friday, you do 18 holes.
18 holes on Thursday, 18 holes on Friday. Then there's a cut. And if you didn't play well enough, then you get the weekend off.
I noticed you no longer have a pedometer. Did it max out, or you just don't track your steps?
If Jake goes, you want to go golfing? I say, I max out at 9. I cannot do more than 9. If you would say 4 days, 18 holes, I would be dead day 2, halfway.
I figured it out. Like the last time I went golfing, the person that they just like buzz that thing, like jump out, hit the ball. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like did we just finish? Like I'm so confused.
4 days, 18 holes
way.
a day. Ugh. No offense, but
bless your heart.
And
so it's a sport or a profession where if you're not playing the weekends, it's a bad thing. You want to work the weekends.
Right.
Okay.
So that's why he hasn't been in the gym for 3 years. He's maxing out at least 50,000 steps a day.
At least.
Or more.
I think like an average day is probably 8 to 10 miles walked. Like if I had to guess, that's what like an average.
And how many pair of shoes do you go through in a year?
Yeah.
Like there's no way you wear the same pair the whole year.
Oh no. I mean I usually get 5-6 pairs a year.
What kind? What brand? I'm just curious. I like the ones you have on now.
Those are good shoes. These are just tennis shoes.
I know, but
the golf shoes are FootJoy.
FootJoy.
Which are like Titleist basically.
Oh, nice.
Oh, if On made golf shoes, that would probably be.
That would be pretty sweet. They are pretty comfy.
Get that sponsorship.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a major injury?
Nothing major, no. I think The one time I withdrew from a golf tournament is because I had like strep throat, and then the one time I couldn't suit up for a basketball game, I like hyperextended my knee the day before. So I've never had any major injuries. I've always had some like minor like neck back problems but I've always been able to play through it. So
we need to go out to Wild Ass Soap and get some CBD and just rub on that.
I use CBD.
Oh, that's the best stuff.
I have the cream and the drops and all that stuff. So
good. Well, I guess you don't listen. Dang it. So we do this fun little game when we kind of start to wrap up. It's called Lena Says. And this is like where you'll give her like a real life scenario. And then at the end of the scenario, you're going to say Lena Says. And then Lena's going to give you her amazing input.
Amazing.
Okay.
Free.
Amazing input. And like she has some really good words of wisdom. Do I need to give you an example?
Yeah, I do.
My examples are pretty rough. That last one was really rough.
You know, we need to make it mandatory that people listen.
We should. At least
like
an
we are not
episode.
scheduling your time until you listen.
Our time is very valuable.
Yes.
I've learned that one from Lena. Oh my gosh, I literally was just walking up here and I was like, I'm going to use this for Lena Says, because Conroy was being a punk. What was it? Let me think.
People would listen.
I know. I'm just still thinking of Conroy's elevator
his was terrible,
one.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Conroy.
Yeah. Can you come up with one? Hold on. I need some really good words of wisdom from Lena.
You have to have something, don't you?
I thought I was going to get like Nebraska trivia or something.
Because somebody was like,
did Josh?
I mean,
like
I don't know
studying
who.
for days now.
Oh gosh.
I know everything about Nebraska right now. So.
Okay. Let's see here. So
I should give you guys like golf trivia.
But
No.
we wouldn't know that. That would be horrible.
We should learn something.
That would be horrible. Okay. A genetically gifted athlete that we had on our podcast one time.
Another
Yes.
genetically gifted athlete we had on our podcast one time.
He wasn't Mr. McCook, but
He was not Mr. McCook.
no, there's only one
So he claimed that he could hit
off a
What-
female pitcher.
off of a female pitcher.
Yes,
I think he
untrue.
used the term "I would tee off."
I
on
would
her.
tee off on her. Yeah,
Lena says,
there's no way. Nancy, you got to settle down. It's not happening.
"Like, yeah,
No.
who is he?"
And he's the only person, because I've been ever since he said that, I've been going around and polling people if they think that, as a gentleman, that you could hit off a female pitch.
So a baseball,
Like a fast pitch or just
Yes.
like an overhand
Oh no,
pitch?
a fast pitch.
Yeah.
Like a
bring
fast
in the heat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've even seen the high school girls play. I was like, I think it would take me a
Oh,
lot
see?
to
Yeah.
go.
And you're also a genetically gifted athlete.
Yes.
He's a very genetically
He was
gifted athlete.
in mind.
Yeah, and I think what was the other term that he used? He said, "I'd tee off on her and I'd hit
Bombers?
bombers or something."
I don't know.
I don't know. So okay, you get the drift.
Yeah.
That's what Lena says. Okay,
Yeah.
go. It's your turn.
Now you have to come.
Oh, I
up with
gotta ask you a question.
Now you have to ask
Yes.
Lena a
Oh.
scenario,
A life
and then
question.
Lena is going to give you some awesome
of wisdom.
advice. It can be real.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend Cherry, he came in with the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him about it.
Oh yeah, you did ask me one.
The cat.
I don't remember.
Trying to think. Do you think the number one golfer on the LPGA could make a cut on the PGA Tour? Like a cut, so it'd be
like
a top.
female.
Like yeah, I'm just gonna keep it on topic. Like, what's your thoughts on
Lena
that?
says,
What does Lena say?
That's a really good question. I don't. That's tough. I do believe there is a difference with males and females. I'm just gonna throw that out there. People are gonna be upset, but
I'm sorry.
I think
is she also now genetically gifted?
Well,
yeah.
like, so
Is
this is where it like golf
Is
kind
she
of.
crossing the line
she,
of
like-
sheedom?
Right? Is she there or is she like taken a lot of
Well,
genetics.
I'm
Taking
trying to
some-
think who the number.
Is Nancy now
gonna
Nolan? Is what we're trying to say.
I guess like it's kind of a tough question too, because all golf courses are different too. Like one of them might cater more to somebody that hits it not as far and hits it straighter, and putts it better. You know, that's how golf is. It's like you go to all different places throughout the United States, so it matters. But like, there has been some women that played in PGA Tour events, and I think, I don't know why I don't know this, but Annika Sorenstam, I want to say, might have made a cut
Wow.
back probably 10, 15 years ago on the PGA Tour. If she didn't, she missed it by like one was all.
That's a really phenomenal question.
Mhm,
That's
that
a
is a
really
good
amazing
question.
thing.
Yeah.
I would always tell my girls to go out and do their best, and that they set the limit. But would I say that they could compete with you? More than likely, not. I'd still say go out and do your best. But I do like the idea of women competing with women and men competing with men. But because I feel like if you still have the option to compete, I don't know why you.
But the nice thing for ladies, like, you know, it's you have different tee boxes, right? They're not always going to play from the same yardage as we
Right.
are. And that's why there's different tee boxes, right? But the nice thing is if you're growing up and you're a young lady that are trying to pursue golf and trying to get better and better and have a great work ethic, you can always work your way back.
That is so true.
And you can
Yeah.
make it as hard on yourself as you want too.
And like, for
You know
me,
what I mean?
why
Doing
would
the
you not?
senior box.
Why would you?
Isn't it?
Because
The
like
handicap box.
I thought isn't it a
Why would you
senior
not?
box?
Why would you not want to compete with males? Like, you know, like for
Yeah.
golfing, I would, because you're pushing them to be better.
for sure.
Volleyball, playing with a man makes you 100 times better because like hand-eye coordination,
Right.
just your speed and all that. I mean, yeah.
And I tell my girls that all the time. Like even if they're trying to play basketball, go play with the boys. And that's just like they can't imagine that right now. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean
That was
it's
a
a
really
little
good
it's a
question.
little different when they're younger too. you
Yeah,
know, and-
yeah.
But once they're older,
But they'll,
Right.
yeah, you understand it.
Right.
But like even me, it's like I'll go out to Heritage and I'll play, you know, every now and then I'll just play different tee boxes like to
Change
like make holes longer too. Like I'll tee off from different spots to make the hole a little bit different, or like I'll go out and I'll hit like a 4-iron off the tee and just you know, without a driver.
Well, like, and I went to a WNBA game once, and there was a difference. You know what I mean? Like, than the NBA. So, there is something to be said about. They're still amazing. They still play phenomenally, but there was a different speed to the game.
good question though.
That was a really good question.
That's a good question. Okay, so to wrap it up, we like to ask like just some fun generic questions because we get our content from people like you that listen to our podcast.
Is this the part where I'm on like, you know, the hot seat? And
Well,
have to
yeah,
answer?
no, not really. It's just like simple questions
Oh,
like,
okay.
what are you currently watching?
Currently watching. It's Terminal List. Have you seen it yet? Good show.
So good. I
have
sent
not.
this to you.
What?
Yes,
You
I
did?
Sent,
You
yes, I
did?
did.
Okay.
I said you and Clay need to start watching it.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Terminal List, really good show.
Oh,
Peaky Blinders is another one in the
Oh
rotation.
my gosh,
Pretty good
I feel
show.
like you two
He
could
has
be some
listened.
good friends.
Well, we are. We just met, but we are good friends.
And then when I want to go comedy, it's Friends or The Office.
Office all the way.
So good.
He passed.
That was really
That was so
good.
good.
That was awesome.
Really
And
Funny
you did it-
story. I actually flew down with Kevin from The Office to South Carolina.
Do you have picture proof?
I do
True,
not.
because
So it
everybody.
didn't happen.
But I
Yeah.
flew down with Cable Guy,
Mm-hmm.
David Wells, Ozzie Smith. Ozzie Smith's shortstop for St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay.
He was famous for like doing backflips
Oh.
on the
Oh,
field.
okay.
Okay.
And then Jay DeMarcus, Rascal Flatts,
Oh.
and Brian Baumgartner, who's Kevin on The Office.
Wow. Look at
So
that.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Look at that.
That was cool.
Interesting. What are you currently listening to?
I mean, I'm just pretty much whatever's on country, like
Oh, okay.
newer.
Okay.
newer
Who's your
country.
favorite country?
I don't really.
Just
I can't
whoever.
even. There's just. I just
listen
turn
to.
it on and let it
Yeah.
rotate and whatever's.
Interesting.
I don't think I even have like a favorite song right now.
Oh my gosh.
Good thing we didn't give him
Yeah.
the lyrics.
What is?
I'm like Psycho. I'll like turn the radio off and just complete silence drive.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
That's why he drove.
Sorry,
for
what
Pretty
month
sick.
were you born in? What's your
November
Oh,
25th.
okay.
Scorpio?
Scorpio.
Think?
I think so.
Sagittarius? One of
I'm
those.
gonna look it up. Because
I'm
it's gonna
not
tell
too
me a
much
lot
in
about
there.
you.
One of those two.
Oh, I just said. Oh, what is like one thing about McCook, like that you only can find in McCook that it's just like I love this town because of.
Max driving doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's,
You know, I
yes,
mean,
It does.
that.
It
I mean, it
doesn't
hurts the
hurt.
belly. And the Weight Watchers.
I
but
mean,
that's good.
I go in there probably. That's one of my first stops when I get back. But
Yeah.
I mean, I literally play in the winter. I hit balls in a car wash. It's hilarious. You know who's car wash? So like I'll hit
you know
balls
what?
and all
Yeah, I
mess
was
around
like,
in the car wash.
Burr.
And I like
You get wet and
it's
hit-
just
I'm with you.
it's just crazy. I mean, just all the friends and family that you have here. It's just a nice place for that, you know.
I wouldn't even classify that one as a friend.
I wouldn't
More of an
either.
acquaintance.
Yeah, let's just leave that.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave you a beautiful wife. You did the work on that, but
Yeah. Yeah. Good work.
you can ditch him now.
Yeah. What other fun questions?
Since you didn't listen to our podcast, I hope that you do. But are you listening to any others?
No, he doesn't listen
No,
to
I
anything.
don't listen to
Besides
podcasts.
silence and humming.
Oh, when you said that, I thought you
No,
just like
I don't
that
listen to
was
silence all the time.
I mean,
I'm
just
just
looking at
saying.
this
Like
guy, I know.
I've gone
You just
I've gone
shut it off.
3-4 hours
I
without
know.
radio.
He's somebody that can watch like NCIS
Really?
and not jump into his bed afterwards.
I can't watch anything past 9 o'clock without falling asleep.
Same here.
Amen.
We're all
Thank
we're all
you.
old
Get
sleepers
to bed.
over here.
Oh.
Besides
I
that one-
apologize. I misunderstood that.
I had
thought-
to even change my nap to take a nap earlier today because you guys were
We cut
not
into
cut into the time.
cut into nap time.
Oh,
boy.
naps are so good.
Oh gosh.
What is something you want to tell us about, since we're not golfers,
Hmm?
that we need to do, like when it comes to golfing? Is it just get out there and play, join a league?
Yeah, I mean, like
Hire a
I've had a
coach.
lot of people, you know, in the last few years. I think over COVID, I gave a few lessons to some adults, and basically, it's just my thing is I can help you, I can get you, you know, to the fundamental aspect of it, but it's all about how much you play, right? You know, it's you can go out there and get a lesson every week, but if you're not doing anything in addition to that, you're not going to get better.
Yeah.
Like it's just you got to put in a little time. You know, if you're a once a week golfer and you want to be a once a week golfer, that's fine. But if you actually want to, you know, go to that next level or, you know, bring your handicap down from a 20 to a 15, like, and another thing is putting and chipping. People don't realize everybody wants to get the ball in the air, you know, hit it far, all that stuff. That's the fun part of golf, right? But, you know, putting is huge. Like you can pick up so many strokes just literally going to the putting green and practicing.
Don't they have like putters that just pretty much put the ball in there for you?
Not quite to that yet.
Like Happy Gilmore.
We
didn't
can
have
get
one
our
of those?
PGA card tomorrow.
No,
that's
we
the case.
can't.
No.
Gosh, we need
No.
to do a.
I need to find one if that's the case. So
Okay, leave us with the first quote that comes to the top of your head.
first quote.
Quote. Oh, come on! You're like a poetic golfer that listens to nothing.
When it's breezy, swing easy.
You know what?
That's good.
Chichi Rodriguez.
That is good.
We're gonna let that roll.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Brandon. We'll have to have you back on here
Yes.
after you've made it big.
Yep.
Which you already made it big. You're Mr. McCook.
Mr. McCook, 20.
I got a ways to
22.
go.
You got it.
Yep.
So
Get us tickets to Omaha.
Yep.
I'll get you tickets.
Okay,
We'll be there. Oh,
I can come
I'll
back
be
out.
there.
Wait, that's during your volleyball season.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm an assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll be
Whatever
fine.
you say.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thanks for listening to another hot episode with Rena.
And Haley Coates.
Good.